Hello, welcome to Millionaire's Journey. In this channel, we share practical tips for financial freedom and how to become a millionaire. If that's you, please consider subscribing to this channel. And today I want to talk to you about how to cut your expenses and save. One of the skills of millionaires or potential millionaires is the ability to save and invest. If everything that comes into your hands leaves you, then you will never be financially free, my friend, and you will never be a millionaire. So if what comes into your hands is translated into an investment, then that money can start working for you, and that's how you slowly gain the ability to be a millionaire or to be financially free. So how to cut down your expenses and save? First of all, I want to say that I grew up in a consumer culture where people were trained to eat and to consume whatever they have. I mean, you are told that it's what you eat that is yours, but this kind of attitude will never give you financial freedom and will probably make you a financial slave all your life. That means you always be working for money, and money will never be a servant to you. So the first step to financial freedom actually is to save, is to hold money. Then that money can be invested. That money becomes your seed. Your savings becomes the seed of your future. You know, when you look at the seed, there's so much power in a seed. There's so much potential in a seed. But until that seed is planted, it has no power. That seed can become a bread, can become food. You can eat that seed, and you will never discover that inside that seed there is a potential forest. But if you plant that seed, and you keep planting it after you get the harvest, you keep planting it over and over. By the time you plant that seed 10 times over, then you are already having a forest, and that's how you become a millionaire. So the first tip I want to give you today that you should consider is to think about limiting spontaneous purchases in your life. Spontaneous purchases are those purchases that are not planned. Like you go to the shop and you see something on sale, or Black Friday, you run to buy things because the price looked cheap, of which you did not plan, or you don't really need those things. So you have to limit these things if you're thinking about becoming a millionaire. Plan what you buy and stick to that plan. Plan what you buy and stick to that plan. Don't just be emotional when you see something looking cheap or looking flashy or looking nice. No, take your time and ask yourself if you truly need that stuff, and put it on your plan before you consider using the seed of your future to buy it. Okay? So think before you spend. Don't spend by emotion. Think before you spend. Another tip you might want to consider is to decide not to be manipulated by advertisers. I mean, there are people out there who understand human psychology and how humans are stimulated, and they use this information to manipulate people to spend all their seed. They use these strategies to separate you from the seed of your future. Remember, if you eat your seed, you have no future. If you eat your seed, you risk your future actually. So refuse to be manipulated by advertisers. So only buy things that you think are very, very important and necessary. Don't just buy because they flash it in your eyes, the way they do it these days. We cannot avoid advertisers in our day. On Facebook, on social media, you will see them flashing stuff to you. But you have to decide not to be manipulated. Refuse to be manipulated by shining objects. You must control your appetite for shining object in this economy if you want to wave goodbye to poverty. If you don't control your appetite, everything you have will eventually leave you. Instead of being invested for your future, it will be wasted into buying things that you don't really need them. The next thing I want you to think about is not to spend on things you can do without. Think about it. There are many people that are constantly spending on things they can do without. I mean, some ladies have like 20 handbags but they keep buying because every time they see handbag, there's something about them that they cannot control. Some men might be shoes. They might be so addicted to shoes. They might have like 20 pairs of shoes that they don't even have space to keep. But every time they see shoes, they cannot go without buying them, especially when they look nice, when their friends have those things. So please, don't spend money on what you can do without. Before you buy something, ask yourself, can I do without this? I mean, one of the things that we must do if we want to gain financial freedom as young people, or whatever age you might be, is to delay some gratification. There are some things that might be important but are not expedient. You might think that you need them, but you can do without those things. So anything you can do without, avoid it. And hold your seed and plant your seed. Money is not to be spent until that money has worked for you, until that money has been invested, until that money has been multiplied. So don't just collect your salary, your paycheck, which is supposed to be your seed, and use it to buy things that you don't really need. Just buy what is absolutely necessary. The next thing I want to consider is not to buy things to impress people. Many people are living a fake life because they are trying to impress other people. Refuse social pressures. Refuse peer pressures. Don't buy things just to identify with your friends because people are buying them. No, buy things because you need them. Refuse to live your life to impress people. The people that you're trying to impress don't really care. You might think that because you have a nice car or you have a nice shoe or a nice clothes, they perceive you differently. They don't really care. Those people will be more concerned. They will be more concerned if you fail. Like if you fail in life, those people are going to laugh at you. But if you focus on your goals, your purpose, your plan, and then you become successful, my friend, those people that you're trying to impress, they will celebrate with you. They'll be impressed by your success, not by the things you have, the cars you have, or the shoes you wear, which, nobody really cares about those stuff, my friend. So another tip I want to think about is refuse to follow trends. Trends are powerful things in this economy where people are always running for what is invoked in fashion. Refuse to follow fashion, my friend. Buy things that you need and don't try to follow trends. Like people that are constantly buying like phones, for example. They have phones, but because they want to get the latest iPhone, the latest whatever, they are constantly spending their seed to try to acquire these things just to belong. Don't try to belong, my friend. Live your own life. Don't follow trends, whether fashion or phones or cars. Just live your own life. And that's how you become a millionaire, my friend. Another thing I want to think about is use what you have to the maximum before you think of buying another. If I have like 10 of these t-shirts, I don't need to buy another until I use them to a point where I know I absolutely need to buy another t-shirt. If you have some 2 or 5 pairs of shoes and you can wear them and comfortably run your errands and live your life and go to school, whatever you're doing with your life, you don't need to buy another shoe. Use those ones until you max them out, then you can buy another. Another tip you might want to think about if you're thinking about holding money to invest is to limit fast food and eating out in restaurants. Limit it. Sometimes it makes sense to hang out with friends and go give yourself a treat. But the culture of eating almost every day in a restaurant, the culture of buying coffee out every day will make you broke. It will make you poor. It will keep you a slave to your job or to your career. You'll never be free. But if that money, rather than buying food in restaurant, you cook your own food, you will save a lot of money. If you make your own coffee at home, you save a lot of money. And that money that you're saving can be invested into a right ground that can lead to financial freedom in your life and can make you a millionaire. Another tip you might want to think about is to practice contentment. Learn to be contented with who you are inside. It is not what you wear that gives you value. It is not what you drive that gives you value. It is not the shoes or the phones you have that gives you value. It is who you are inside that gives you value. Learn to see your value in the invisible investments in your life. The knowledge you have, the education you have, the skills you have, the gifts you have. And possibly if you're a Christian, God is your greatest wealth. So be contented with who you are inside. Nothing outside of who you are inside will make you contented. It is just like chasing shadows. When you're thinking that maybe if I have 10 girlfriends or 10 cars or 10 pairs of shoes, I'll be satisfied. No, those things don't satisfy, my friend. It is who you are inside that makes you contented. Learn to be contented. Learn to be contented. If not, you will spend all you have. I mean, like Solomon, he said, everything is vanity. After he had tried everything, he had like 700 wives, 300 concubines, and they did not satisfy. That tells us nothing in this world satisfies. But there are things inside of you that should give you your wealth and your satisfaction. Be contented with who you are. Another tip you might want to think about is to deal with the pride of life, the loss of the eyes, the loss of the flesh, and emotional spending. These are some of the things that makes people poor. When you cannot master pride, pride is trying to put up a false image of yourself, trying to impress people, trying to live in falsehood. When you are a proud person, you will always be trying to impress people, to make them think of you in a status that you have not attained yet. And because of that, you constantly be spending everything you have to put up your status, to try to look good to people, just to feed your pride. So try to deal with pride in your life. Don't do things because of pride. Don't spend because of pride. Deal with the loss of the eyes. A lot of the eyes talks about a controlling appetite that drives you to try to have everything you see. You must deal with this in your life. You must be able to look at some things that you like and refuse to buy them just because you have mastered. Those things don't control you. You have control over them. You decide when it is appropriate to buy them or not to buy them. Deal with the loss of the eyes. Don't be driven by the things you see to spend your seed. That's what I mean by the loss of the eyes. Then emotional spending is being unable to control your emotions. That means when you're stimulated and you're hyped up, you can spend everything without thinking. All millionaires are thinking people. They think before they spend. They analyze before they spend. Instead of just being emotional and then just spending, please take your time, think, ask questions, answer questions to yourself before you spend your hard-earned money. I hope you find these tips useful. Please drop a comment with any other tip that you know can help us to cut our expenses and save. And if you have any question, please leave a comment down below. And if you find this video helpful, please kindly subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when we upload the next video. I believe that you can become a millionaire and you will gain financial freedom. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.